by Bucci Emcheta. These are the points that I am going to ponder in this presentation. Key facts. This is The Joys of Motherhood is a novel written in a genre called Bildungsroman, which talks about the development of its characters in it, especially the protagonist. It was published in 1979 and written by a novelist, Bucci Emcheta, a Nigerian novelist. The setting of this play is Ogboi in Ibuza village named Ibuza and Lagos. Ibuza is a rural setting and Lagos is a urban setting. So there will be a shift from rural to urban to rural, and this is how the story will also get shaped in terms of the mindsets of people to tradition to modernity. The timeline is from 1909 to 1950s. The whole novel is narrated in a third-person omniscient perspective. And this line is very much interesting, as the basic of this novel lies in this one line: necessity for a woman to be fertile and above all to give birth to sons. As inbuilt in their tradition, in Igbo community, Igbo tradition, it was believed that those women who are infertile, they are abundant, and this system do prevail in our culture back as well. So, and above all that, you should give birth to son, not to girl. So that was the part of their civilization, or we can say their culture. Florence Onibuchi, means Bucci Emcheta, her full name. She was born in 21st July 1944 and died in 25th January 2017. She is a Nigerian-born novelist who also lived in Britain later part of her life. She wrote plays and an autobiography, as well as she did write for children, works of children as well. She was author of more than 20 books, including, these are her works, famous works: Second Class Citizen, The Bride Price, The Slave Girl, The Joys of Motherhood. Most of her early novels were published by Ellison and Busby publishers, and editors were Margaret Busby. So she is not that much, but she is a much modern writer of Nigeria, in Africa. So she was like the information of publication is also given. Emcheta's themes are child slavery, motherhood, female independence, and freedom through education, gained recognition from critics and honored. All the themes, these are the general themes of her works, but all the themes except child slavery is found in this novel. Motherhood, as its title suggests, it is about the joys of motherhood, but the direction is different. Then female independence is also there about her daughter, and freedom through education when her son gets scholarship. All the things are incorporated within the structure of this novel. So these are the major characters. Now here Nuigo. Nuigo is the female protagonist of this novel, and the whole story, The Joys of Motherhood, is of her. All the experiences that she is having, the development of her character, that is of Nuigo. She is daughter of Ona and Agbadi. Both are Agbadi his father and Ona his her mother. At the age of 16, that is also seen in the plot overview as well, she got married as per their tradition in the village area and the civil culture. Her father first let her marry to Emoto. Name is bit difficult, but yeah. And then due to his her infertility or not able to giving the child birth, she had divorced with him. They both separated. He married other women. Her second husband was Neif, and fortunately she had this 5 children. Gozi died in infancy. but all 4 children, Oisha, Adin, twin daughters, and named Taiwo and Kehinde, all are alive of her. And these are the Adapu, Okpo, Adanpu. All 3 are the wives of his brother, but later on, with the death of his brother, all 3 wives of him becomes his own. That we usually say in our language, dear Vadu. It is the thing. Now, let us have a plot only. The plot of this novel shifts past to present. So, the novel begins with the present point of view. The narrator narrates the story of our female protagonist Nuigo when she is in the present time, and then go back to her history, what sort of suffering, what sorts of beliefs she was holding throughout his life, what are the relationships of him, and how does it affected her current situation. So this is how it happens, and later on it also comes to the present, and this is how at the end story ends up. So Nuigo is the protagonist. It is also pronounced Nuigo, Noego, Nuego. But it's African pronunciation, so it may vary. Her name means 20 bags of cowrie. Is her meaning of her name is. She was born in Igbo community. Igbo is a culture community. Igbo community in the rural village of Ibuza. Ibuza is a village. Nuigo's first child with Neife died in infancy. So she was having a first child with her husband Neife, but he died when he was infant. So she decides to end up her life by jumping from this Carter Bridge, Lagos. Carter Bridge in Lagos. Lagos is a city place. Lagos is a city. So the setting of this first part is in Lagos, Carter Bridge. So she tries to wants to end her life as her son died. This is due to the staunch mentality of their community about having child and especially son when he dies. Then the story go back to 25 years. Agbadi, a wealthy village chief, gets infatuated with Ona, the daughter of a neighboring chief. Ona is a strong character who has her own will, the mother of our protagonist Nuigo. So she is having a strong will about certain things, and she refuses Agbadi for sexual suggestions. But later on, when she got hurt by elephant, so they came to each other, and this Agbadi tries to help her, tries to bandage her, and this is how their relation grows up. And Ona and Agbadi gets married, and they have a daughter named Nuigo. Ona dies while giving birth to the children, and Nuigo grows up among strict traditions of Igbo culture, because she was the only daughter of this Ona and Agbadi. As Ona died, so she was only the children of this Ona and Agbadi. Nuigo grows up among strict traditions of Igbo culture as being a woman, as being a girl. Marriage of Nuigo after 16. So as soon as she gets the age of 16, her father decides to marry her. The marriage of her first marriage is with Amatoku, and but as I mentioned just before that, she fails to provide him offsprings or children. So Amatoku remarries, and Nuigo. This incident is very interesting as well and touching as well, because Nuigo, as being unable to give the birth to child, when this child of Amakotu is crying, and she crying. So she tries to breastfeed her, and this Amatoku beats her too severely as she was not able to produce children. So it is believed that women are nothing but just a machine to produce child. Her dream. So after this incident of her beating by her husband, she have a kind of an imagination or a dream in which she sees babies in danger. She tries to save him, and at a point she thought to kidnap the son of his husband and go away and raise him alone in a peace. Later in the story, Nuigo gets separated to Amatoku, and Ampadi remarries his daughter to Neife. Neife is the second husband of Nuigo from Lagos. Now Lagos is a city. From Ibuzu to Lagos, she is moving as she remarries to Neife. Now Nuigo moves to Lagos with her husband at a city place, and Neife is a laundryman who is working for a family named Mira, a British couple. So here we see the theme of colonialism as well, how the black people were working for this white people, British people, and how their existence also affected, that we'll see in the later part of the story. Nuigo gets pregnant. Fortunately, it was a miracle that she gets pregnant and gives birth to a son named Gozi. Gozi is her first son. She starts a cigarette selling business by roadside due to not having that much money to have a particular shop to sell. So meanwhile, Gozi dies in this scenario, and she decides to end up her life as the beginning was when she is trying to end up her life from jumping from the Garter Bridge in Lagos. So here we connect the past. So now we are coming back to the present. So she decides to end up her life, but this man Nakuzor, an Igbo man, saves her from killing herself or doing suicide. She again decides to sell cigarettes, and but her husband, meanwhile, at this point when she was losing his son, meanwhile her husband left so for some work. So she was selling cigarettes by roadside, but when he comes back with money, she secures a permanent stall in marketplace to sell cigarettes. Now present, Naife's brother, another story of Naife's brother, dies in Ibuza, the village. All his brother's wife becomes his own. So this is the tradition that if the brother is dying, all of his wife, as he was having 3 wives. This shows that they remarry again and again if they will not get children. So the producing children in the family was a major function carried through by women. So, but all 3 wives becomes his own, but only one agrees to come with Naife to Lagos. This quote is very much important. Adam, the name of that youngest wife that agrees to come up with Naife, the youngest wife arrives with her daughter, and this also create a kind of controversy or certain problems in the family as she became the official second wife of Naife. So there will be certain issues within the family, within the mind of Nuigo as well. It occurs to Nuigo that she was a prisoner, imprisoned by her love for her children, imprisoned in her role as the senior wife. As an Igbo woman, Nuigo can pursue only one life path. She must produce children, preferably boys, as the senior wife, Nuigo, expected to endure the humiliation when Adapu, Nefi's crafty and attractive second wife, arrives in Lagos and becomes the big part of Ovulum family. The family name of this Nefe is Ovulum family. So here in this part quote from the novel, what it is being, it is saying that there was a one way available for Nuigo to persist in that family and having that dignity. That is that she must produce children again and again, and that children also should be son, not daughter. Nuigo gave birth to twins girl. Here she is giving birth to twin girls named Taiho and Kehinde, while Adapu's son from Naife dies after birth. So the death of children also shows the malnutrition within the African culture, because this indicates slavery as well. This indicates the colonial framework as well. Nuigo returns to Lagos, fights with Adapu, and Adapu leaves the house and turns into prostitute. Nuigo saved mainly, now the theme of awareness and education comes in the later part. Nuigo saves mainly money to secure her son's education, Oshaya. Oshaya is his second son. First son died. Yes. So Oshaya wins the scholarship to study abroad. Naife denounced him for ignoring his final duty. So in that community, it was believed that there were certain duties that should be carried through their parents. So their children should not go against it. So there is a clash of tradition and modernity as well. Oshaya lives for US. So as he gets the scholarship from US to study there, he lives there, and he marries to a white woman in US. Kehinde, one of her twin daughters, runs away with a stranger she meets from Yogura. Yogura is Nefe tries to refuse, because in that tradition it was believed that girl should not have that independence to marry someone. So he was desperate about the behavior of Kehinde, and he also attempts to murder the boy's father, with whom his daughter ran away. Taiwo married to a lawyer, one of the other daughter, lawyer of Igbo community. Adi moves the second son, first son Oshaya and Adi, a live son. Adi moves to Canada after his father's imprisonment. So the Nefe was imprisoned because of his refusal to certain things. But here Adin cuts out the line of him with his mother. So here the joys of motherhood is coming, because there were certain fantasies of being a mother. But at the same time, as we'll see in the theme as well, at the same time the children are cutting down for whom they have spent their lives. Yeah. The end is that Nuigo returns to Ibuza because of his father's illness, and realizes the mislead idealism of motherhood. Though motherhood was the greatest joy, as it is joys of motherhood, it is in title as well, but regrets for having many children who have little concern for her well-being. All her children left her alone. So she is, though able to being a mother, she is not able to having the happiness of being a mother. After some years, she dies alone by the roadside. So the tragedy happens, at the end of the novel. This is the storyline. Now, these are some of the themes. Influence of colonialism, how the family structure of African people or Nigerian people are being influenced through the colonial rules. They were forced adaptation of foreign systems, like they were forced to have a tradition, they have to move away and accept the new norms of other traditions. Erosion of traditional values, like as Nuigo tries to Nuigo tries her children to get education, which was not part of their culture, and even at a point when she realizes that as I was too wrong of following tradition, and that's why my first child Gozi died. So she tries to follow the Western tradition or modern traditions, and she believes that I should not work as British or a white woman does, and the duty of man is to look for the children. If I had looked for my child, I would not lose him. So she tries to walk on the footsteps of this white people, and she insists her husband to fulfill the duties, and she will also care her children. Threat to family and social structure, impact on individual, as all her children went out and moved away from her to have to be a part of the modern world, getting education and all that. Impact on individual identity, missed opportunities for embracing change, ambiguous nature of colonialism's impact, because when this white couple lives and they have to leave Lagos, and when they went to village, the husband Naife loses his job and he had to find another job for his survival. So she had to rent a house, very messy house, a one-room house. So this is how their existence do depend on the existence of white people, and they will lose when it is not in their hand. Individual versus collective. Traditional family as a small corporation, as they were having in this Igbo community. Generational shift in perception, as what Ono and Akbari think, it is not being carried out till Oshaya and Taiwa and all the children of Nuigo. Radical departure from tradition, challenge to hierarchies, assertion of individual rights, break from societal taboos. As at the end, when she is nowhere, she is not having her children with her. So, there is a break from the societal norms of being mother. She has a kind of a challenge against that. If whatever will be if you are giving birth to so many children, that is not going to altogether help you. Danger of resisting change, shift in parental priorities, evolution to cultural norms, persistence to change, a pitfall, psychological and emotional consequences connected to the environment, loneliness as consequences. When this person, Naife, when he refuses to accept his daughter to run away with someone, he was punished for that. So at that point also, people are characters in this novel are being lonely, and even at the end when Nuigo also remains alone. Balancing tradition and change, ambiguous rewards of motherhood. This is where the essence of the novel lies. Idealized notion of motherhood, the whole picture of motherhood, that mother should the woman's sole duty is to produce children, and that sugar coated thing that is lying around the motherhood. Struggle with infertility as our female protagonist. Nuigo also struggles with her infertility, and transformation of idealism, regret and self-reflection, modified vision of motherhood, sacrifice with reciprocity. So here the whole mindset of Nuigo is represented as at a point when she thinks that I couldn't care my children, Gozi, that's why he died. But at the same time, in the end, when she is alone, there is no one with her. So there are always a kind of regret and self-reflections also. These are some of the new articles that I am going to discuss here. First one is The Joys of Motherhood, Myth or Reality by Umesh. This article analyzes the novel Joys of Motherhood by Buchi Mcheta, focusing on how it breaks from traditional portrayal of African motherhood in the literature. In much African literature, mothers are depicted as a symbol of love, strength and nurturing. Mcheta challenges this by portraying a more realistic and complex mother figure who faces hardship and disappointments that we have just seen. The protagonist, Nuigo, has many children, hoping it will bring her fulfillment and status, but she ends up feeling unappreciated alone in her old age. She realizes children do not always bring joy and honor to moves as expected. So there are no joys of motherhood that is at the end. So it is not what is expected. It is always many a time opposite. Mcheta uses techniques like flashbacks. She first remains in present, then go to the flashback. Interior monologue of her own monologue. Building Stroman as the development of her own belief systems and character is going on. Coming of age story, her being old, to portray Nuigo's personal development and shifting minds over the years. Through characters like Nuigo and Adapu, Mcheta promotes feminist ideas about women seeking fulfillment beyond just having children and serving men. However, the book is not overtly feminist in form. It much talks about the motherhood, not feminist study, but it can be considered within the framework of feminism. The iconic title reflects how Mcheta builds up the myth of motherhood's joy, not only to tear it down, showing the hard realities many African mothers face. Her complex portrayal of motherhood challenges a literary tradition. This sort of tradition we could also find way back or even at a certain places of our time as well. When society is time and again insisting women to have children, as it is believed that the sole duty of women is to only produce children. The second one is Mother's Intricacy in Buchi Mcheta's The Joys of Motherhood by Lakshmikant H. Kabde. This article analyzes how it portrays the intricacies and struggles of motherhood for women in Igbo society. In Igbo tradition, women's worth is tied to bearing children and motherhood is supposed to bring fulfillment. But it is not happening at the end of this novel. But the protagonist, Nuigo, finds no joy or power in motherhood. Through introspective passages, Nuigo expresses the sacrifice, grief, and powerlessness of being a mother expected to live for her children. She feels trapped and unappreciated at the end. Mcheta challenges ideal of African motherhood depicted in literature. She shows the hard realities many mothers face. So, around motherhood, we have so many sugar-coated, goody-goody, sweetie things are incorporated. But Buchi Mcheta tries to deconstruct the image, try to deconstruct the joy that is being perceived, but the reality may be totally different. New Ego's awakening into feminist ideas about seeking fulfillment beyond the motherhood is analyzed. So there are other joys beyond motherhood for women. That's what Buchi Imchitta at the core tries to explain. But this novel itself doesn't have an overt feminist ideology, as it was also discussed in the first article as well. Overall, Imchitta provides a complex, realistic view of mother that defies simplistic veneration and exposes the problems with limiting women's worth to motherhood. So it is not about limiting the role of women as only mother. Third article is a study of Buchi Imchitta's joys of motherhood in the light of Chandra Talpade Mohan, a post-colonial feminist theory. It analyzes this novel through the lens of Chandra Talpade Mohanty's post-colonial feminist theory. He highlights how colonialism, capitalism, racism, patriarchy, all the things intersect to oppress third world women. This article finds traces of these ideas of the novel. The novel shows how colonial policies in Nigeria changed social norms and constraints and women's roles. Patriarchal relations. The patriarchal relations were also reinforced under the colonial rule. Women like the protagonist New Ego faced double colonization from home as well as from community to these white people. Double colonialization and have no power or agency. It also examines how capitalism exploited women's labor by redefining women's worth. New Ego has to take on extra work to support her family. Beyond colonialism and capitalism, the novel also portrays gender oppression that we can see throughout the novel in Igbo patriarchal traditions that predate colonialism, because it was prevailing in the community. Women are treated as inferior, lacking voices and choices. It is like colonialism came when Britishers tried to establish their colonies in the certain parts of the world or African states. So the women who are colonized by the Britishers were already colonized by their family only. So it was a kind of a double colonization. However, the novel also hints at solidarity amongst African women facing similar struggle. He advocates such political solidarity. The article analyzes her feminism, which criticizes African patriarchy while also differing from Western feminism in post-colonial outlook. So at the point when women are not even getting other thing than motherhood, then this Western feminist theory is far away from that. So it also looks and in that framework as well, post-colonial outlook. And if this colonization may end at a point, but the women's colonization through their family, by their family, will be there. Overall, the novel portrays the intersection of race, class, and gender oppressions faced by the African women in general. The fourth article is Culture, Collision, and Women Victimization in Buchi Imchitta's The Joys of Motherhood by Helen. It analyzes joys of motherhood through the lens of cultural collision between traditional Igbo society and colonial Lagos. Rural place, rural mindsets, beliefs, and the urban mindsets. In traditional Ibuza, women like protagonists New Ego are oppressed by patriarchal values that prize fertility and motherhood. You are like praised or prized just like if you are able to carry children. And if you are infertile, you have no worth of being a human. New Ego is rejected in Ibuza for being childless, so she moves to colonial Lagos for a new life. Like there is always a search for identity, that I could find somewhere a place. But colonial policies in Lagos undermine traditional gender roles. Her husband Naife becomes emasculated and incapable of providing. She had to start her own business of cigarette selling, as her husband was unable to provide the basics of her and her family. As a mother in Lagos, Nuigo has to take an extra work as a trader to support her many children despite poverty. She, though being a poor, she tries to she has a kind of a dream, and she tries to work on that, and she tries to start this cigarette selling and want to gather money to the upbringing of her children, so that they could get education. The novel shows how colonialism disrupted family structures and values. Nuigo struggles between adhering to Igbo tradition and adopting colonial city life. So she is swinging between tradition and modern life. Neither traditional Ibuza nor modern Lagos offer Nuigo fulfillment. So as being infertile or being mother, as being traditional or modern, nothing fulfilled what she wanted. Her joys is not satisfied. She is victimized in both cultures, highlighting the dilemmas of African women caught between worlds. In the end, Nuigo dies disillusioned and alone, abandoned by her westernized children. Her life represents the tragedies of African motherhood. The novel sympathizes with African women like Nuigo, who lack power and choices in the rigid, patriarchal and colonial society. So the title of the novel, The Joys of Motherhood, is totally opposite to what the story is. Like there is a kind of a hope that there is a motherhood, as initially she was unable to carry children, so there was always an absence, that I could not bear children. So if I will be able to carry children, I may get happiness, I may get joy. But after having 4 children, she is still not having the joy. So the title is much against to the portrayal of its central character, and it also talks about the false disillusion or illusionment within the society, the idea that is prevailing within the society, that if you are a woman and if you are a mother, then only you are having a joy. This is the video by Vallath Tess, and this video is very much interesting. You must go through this video, because the whole storyline is very much clear in a simple way, along with at which place which theme is being applied. So do watch this video, because it will clear all the confusion. As it is an African novel, there are certain difficulties of remembering names and places and connecting all the things. So this will help you to have a better understanding of the novel. So these are the works that I have cited. Thank you so much.